Today's subject is about hitting powerful serves. It's kind of comical. Sometimes you're at a tennis club and you see this guy come out. He's huge, he's walking like this and he's got big muscles, big guns, and he goes to serve and it's so stiff that he cannot generate power. Okay, so a stiff arm is really going to inhibit your ability to hit a powerful serve. And then you look on the side there and you see this little 14-year-old kid. He's as skinny as I am. He's thin anyway. And he's got a loose arm. And he's just using that loose arm like a whip, and he's cranking 100-mile-an-hour serves. And this guy who weighs 235 with the stiff arm is hitting 60 and 70-mile-an-hour serves. So the key is you've got to learn to loosen up. You got to stretch. You've got to have good technique, number one, and you need a loosey-goosey arm. You need spaghetti arm. That's what you need. And I'm not talking al dente. We're talking fully cooked spaghetti, loose. Now, the other key is that if you're holding like an Eastern grip, let's say when you're serving, and a lot of players do that when they first start out, you can't really let the racket drop to pick up speed. See, when you're holding that Eastern grip, when you come back, the racket doesn't tend to drop. It just tends to give you like a patty cake type serve. So that's probably what the big guy has. He's got an Eastern grip and he's patty caking that serve. So once you turn it over, instead of Eastern, which would be, let's say, your hand is more on the side of the handle, you bring the racket on top of the handle more like this. That's a continental grip. And that's going to enable you to drop the racket. Once you bring the racket back and you start to come up with your hands, once your hitting arm reaches horizontal, the hitting elbow starts to bend and the racket forms this perfect loop. It starts to drop down behind the body, and then it swings out away from the body, and that enables you to stay loose and get racket head speed, because that's what it's all about, racket head speed. Let me demo that for you. Okay, here's a couple in real time. Notice how the racket is looping and dropping down behind my back. Okay, right here I come up. Now it drops right there. Drops down behind the back. You get a good look at it here in slow motion. Okay, the hands are coming up together. Right there, the palm of my hitting hand is facing down. That's going to enable the racket to form that nice loop and drop down behind my back. Right there, I'm looping the racket, and now it drops down behind the back, right there. That's the racket drop position. Now my hitting arm is loose, loosey-goosey like spaghetti, and from here I'm just going to go up. There you can see the racket is on edge, and now the forearm and the wrist will snap. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tip. Please check out my website, which is in the description box below. I've got a serve course, forehand, backhand, volleys, everything, all aspects of the game. Please check it out. I think it'll help you, and I think you'll find it very helpful, actually, for taking your game up a notch and becoming more consistent with your strokes. All the best.